Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be great? To hold a position of power and respect? The answer might surprise you, just as it surprised the disciples of Jesus Christ in the Mark 9. After Peter recognized Jesus as the Messiah, a ripple of anticipation surged through the disciples. They envisioned themselves in positions of power and influence in the new kingdom. As they journeyed to Capernaum, they debated amongst themselves who would be the greatest. When they reached their destination, Jesus, aware of their discussion, asked them about it. Embarrassed, they chose silence over admission. One brave soul eventually asked Jesus, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" The disciples believed their teacher would soon enter Jerusalem as the new king, the Messiah, and their hearts fluttered with eagerness for their imminent rise to greatness. But Jesus, in his infinite wisdom, had a different lesson for them. He called the 12 disciples to him and signified for them to sit. He said, "If anyone desires to be first, he shall be last of all and servant of all." This statement left the disciples puzzled and stunned. To further illustrate his point, Jesus brought a child into their midst, took him in his arms, and said, "Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me, but him who sent me." Mark 9:36-37. For those well-versed in ancient wisdom, this teaching is not hard to understand. Ancient scholars once said, "He who nurtures all things yet never claims dominance, who is always desireless and can be named small. All things return to him, yet he never lords it over them. He can be named great. Because he never considers himself great, he can achieve greatness." The renowned Tang Dynasty discourse on governance, "The Way of the Ruler," has a similar sentiment stating, "The way of a ruler must first be to preserve the people. If he harms the people to maintain himself, it's like cutting off his own thigh to fill his belly. His belly might be full, but he will die. A ruler must prioritize serving the people." At the time, the disciples didn't fully understand the true nature of Jesus' role as the Messiah. They thought an earthly kingdom was imminent, and they began vying for positions of power, applying the survival of the fittest rule from the real world. What they didn't realize was that in God's kingdom, the principle of leadership is, whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Just as the life of Jesus, it is said, "And being found in human form, he humbled himself by becoming obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross." Philippians 2:8. What was the result? Because of his humility. Therefore God has highly exalted him and bestowed on him the name that is above every name. Philippians 2:9. From this we see that the more humble a person is, the more they allow God to reign, the higher and greater their position in heaven. When examining Mark 9:36-37 in conjunction with Matthew 18:4, Jesus' words become even clearer. "Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." Matthew 18:4. In Jesus' eyes, children are genuine, unpretentious, modest, and humble. Only with this attitude can one truly serve others instead of being served and thus become a leader in God's kingdom. So the next time you ponder the nature of greatness, remember the teachings of Jesus. True greatness comes not from power and authority, but from humility and service to others. The path to greatness in the kingdom of heaven is not a struggle for power, but a humble acceptance of the least among us.